Shalom Aleichem, blessed souls. This is Dhamma talk on the 16th of Menachem Av, comforting the Father by the return of the children of the Most High, which is all the blessed souls of this blessed planet Earth, as we call it, of the children of Noah, Bnei Noach, descendants of Ham, Shem, and Yafet, Ham, Shem, and Japhet. I'd like to share with you, blessed souls, before we get into the teaching of the Middle Rebbe's second Rebbe of Chabad, direct descendant of King David and Solomon, a preface with a brief teaching of Yitzhak Ginsburg on the threefold configuration of the divine name of the Most High, that is the Yud and the Hey, the Vav and the Hey, which, if repeated 3 times in a row, corresponds to each month of the Hebrew calendar year. And since we're in the month of Av or Menachem Av, this corresponds to the letter Yud. And the next month, Elul, is the Hey in Tishrei, where we have the Hebrew New Year. Actually, it's the New Year of the renewal of creation. And Cheshvan, which is when the flood took place back in the days of Noach, the Hey. So we're in the month of perception of profundity, blessed souls, which kind of ties in quite succinctly to this teaching we were talking about with this young man. Remember, if you saw the first tape, the first part of this video series, where a young man came to the Middle Rebbe and asked him that he needed a tikkun, a rectification, for his sense of Hagashas Hayesh. So the Middle Rebbe asked him, do you know what this means? He said no, because he wanted to hear what the other Rebbe would explain it. And the Rebbe explained again, beginning of creation and before creation, the Most High was designating the role of each entity, each molecule, each fiber of creation. There was the Sitra Kedusha, the side of holiness, and the Sitra Achra, the side which is the opposite of holiness and the truth. And what the Most High allowed was that there be a morphological movement, tenuah, as we say in Hebrew, of the Sitra Achra, the other side, which opposes holiness and truth, to morph into different names. First as the Nachash Kadmoni, primordial snake, who made things a little bit sticky in the Garden of Eden for Adam and Chava, Adam and Eve. Then he became known as the angel of death, Abraham, Sarah, so to speak, caused a morphological shift in his name to now to be known as the Satan, which Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu, the mighty Levite prophet, from Mount Sinai and onward, was able to rectify it. And then he became known as the Yesh, which is arrogance, which is something that has plagued even the most spiritual-minded groups of people since that time. And now we're at the point of this story, blessed souls, where the Sitra Achra, which again is the Nachash Kadmoni, primordial snake, which is the angel of death, which is the Satan, which is you know what the Satan is, according to our various traditions. And then the morphing into what is known as arrogance, which we're all aware of. Now came before the Most High with threefold tears, saying, this is the Baal Shem Tov Rebbe, Yisrael Shem Tov, and the Hasidic movement now is coming to nullify arrogance. Take me from this world. The Most High said, no. There'll be one more test. I'm just inserting my own comment on what this teaching is implying. One more last test for the human race, the nation of Israel, and all the children of Noah. I will change your name to Hargashas Hayesh, this sense of sensing oneself. What's wrong with sensing oneself? But if the point, blessed souls, of sensing oneself is to the exclusion of sensitivity to others, giving oneself over to a higher cause than one's own individual daily existence, which we should not underestimate, it is very important. I mean, you have to live day to day on a human, physical level, eating, drinking, and if you have to, you go to work. Some people are a little bit privileged, don't have to, or work so hard. But we have to engage in the mundane activities and know that we can elevate them. But along comes this sensing of self and generates a sort of, apathy, indifference, self-centeredness, not necessarily out of arrogance, but a sense of justification. I need this, I need to feel fulfilled. And we're not saying a person doesn't have to be fulfilled, blessed souls. However, if we read between the lines what's been transmitted here as a tradition within the Hasidic movement, which is basically an educational movement, and we should understand, blessed souls, that the word chinuch in Hebrew, which is education, also implies, talks about in the Torah, the Bible, 5 books of Moses, the idea of chinuchas habayit, chinuchas hamishkan, the dedication of an area that was sanctified to be a place where the peoples can congregate, to be reminded of the precious fragility of life and the offerings of one's sensibilities and talents, which then arouses and further manifestation of elokus, godliness, jafalness, you might want to say, in order that there should be a continually motivating aspect to one's life where one must continually being a movement, getting closer to the Almighty, getting closer to other human beings in a way that is proper, hopefully sanctified, a little bit of modesty, hopefully sometimes you have a lot of bit of modesty, sincere concern for the welfare of another human being. So the Rebbe told him the truth of the matter is, and I'll recapitulate one more time, that it's all one package, the Rebbe said, in this test that was placed before the human race, whether it be of Israel, the children of Israel, that this sensing of oneself to be self-justifying, to the exclusion of tapping into the higher awareness. Going back one step up, arrogance. Then the Satan, who certainly is not humble. Then the evil inclination, which we didn't talk so much about, but that was something that was inserted here. The angel of death, who is in fact the primordial snake, who in fact was an angel that was jealous of Adam because he was leading original man, all of creation, in praising the Most High. Again, this whole idea of the more we dedicate ourselves to a higher end, which is the calling of the Most High. We of Israel humbly invite all the children of Noah, B'nai Noah, to see what the Torah says, which literally means instruction. It's a Hebrew word, but it implies not just instruction to the nation of Israel, but to the entire human race. So you can Google up all over the place to look up classes. I recommend Ginsburg's website, inner.org, INNER.org. You have CHABAD.org, Chabad.org. You have NoahhideNations.com, which is run by Blessed Ben Noach, son of Noah. Ray Peterson, and he co-hosts a radio show with Adam Penrod, another Blessed Ben Noach. There's a smorgasbord of material now in the age of information. Blessed soul. So please embrace knowledge. Knowledge is freedom. Knowledge shall set us free to make the right choices, to connect with the Almighty. And hopefully you and me. So this is Dan Zusim Goodman, Dan Matov, signing off for Crown Heights. But now, Sababa Rejoice, Ahava Echad, one love, Gorel Echad, one destiny. Kulanu, all of us, Badarchi Noam, in a pleasant way, Badarchi Shalom.